8 is a number of infinity. 8 is a number of abundance. 8 is a number of personal power. So you can absolutely ride the energy of this year and create the best year ever for yourself. Every goal you have, in order to achieve them, you have to be taking action today. Okay, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Today we're going to talk about how to create massive success in your life this year. So this is all about mastering your destiny, creating that blueprint to unleash massive success. So we're going to talk about proven strategies, proven steps for your best year ever. I actually spent New Year's Eve cleaning out my space, cleaning out my home, cleaning out my email inbox, cleaning out my all those incompletes and messes in my life, getting my finances in order, getting my mind in order, looking at what are some things that have been left undone, and even forgiveness. You know, who do I still need to forgive? And really letting go and shedding. That's my New Year's Eve. I had a text from a friend who says, "Are you going to a party?" I'm like, parties are for amateurs. Not really. I think parties are incredible and it's a great time to spend time with your loved ones. But I tend to spend New Year's Eve really cleaning out. And then New Year's Day is where I really gave myself some time to look at what are those things that are important to me? What are my values? Reassessing everything and then creating that strategy and that plan for the best, biggest year of my life. And I'll tell you, every year it just keeps getting better and better. And when I accomplish my goals, there's always that next big step and that next big level. So I am currently guiding my clients through this process, and I wanted to highlight 5 steps for your best year ever that you can utilize to really harness the power of this year. If you're into numerology at all, this is an 8 year. 8 is a number of infinity. 8 is a number of abundance. 8 is a number of personal power. And so you can absolutely ride the energy of this year and create the best year ever for yourself. Last year was a 7 year. 7 might have brought some struggles to your life, might have brought some opportunities for growth, i.e. challenges and obstacles. 7 is a spiritual number, which means spiritual growth. And as awesome as it sounds and as sweet and, you know, spiritual as it sounds, spiritual growth takes some work because it's really about shedding those things that are part of our life that no longer works for us. And we're required to grow. And as you know, when you're growing, there are going to be those growing pains because things are going to get uncomfortable. In order for us to become bigger, we're going to have to stretch outside of our comfort zone. So you might have had opportunities for growth. And I encourage you to look at those opportunities and ask yourself, did I take advantage of those opportunities? Did I dive into the growth? Did I say yes and wholeheartedly put my heart into evolving and becoming a better person? Or did I run away? Or did I hide? Or did I play the short game to win? Because I'll tell you, if you didn't harness the power of growth last year, and you choose not to even now, you're not going to benefit from the power of this year. So doesn't mean you're out of luck. It just means that you have time now to really look back and see, okay, what are those things that required me to grow? And can I grow now? And when you are able to grow, then you can really harness the power of this next year. So what are those 5 steps? I've talked a lot about the first one, and the first one is to reflect. You know, you want to take the time to reflect on the previous year. What were your achievements? What were your challenges? What were your lessons learned? What are some areas that you still need to grow into? What are some obstacles that you hit, and how did you overcome them? What growth did you experience? And you also want to take the time to celebrate your wins. What were your achievements? What were your celebrations? What can you celebrate? What successes did you experience, no matter how small they are? Acknowledge the fact that you got through it. That's huge in and of itself. And this reflection really helps create that. Number one, it lets you get rid of those things that perhaps will block you from the blessings that are coming towards you. But it also helps you create that positive mindset and sets a stage for building on your strengths, building on your dreams, building on those steps moving forward. So step number one is reflect. We want to reflect and take that time to celebrate. Step number two is define your clear goals. Now, this is a no-brainer. Everyone sets goals. Everyone sets resolutions. Everyone says, okay, I'm going to work out now, or I'm going to do those, things that I've been telling myself I want to do every, year for the past 20 years. But really take the time to set those specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. Now, that may sound familiar. A lot of you are familiar with the SMART goals. So take your vision, and hopefully we've talked a lot about vision here. So hopefully you have a very clear vision of your life that you want to live, and break that down into specific goals for this year. And break that down into the long-term goals, which is like 1 year from now. I wouldn't go past 1 year. You already have your vision for the long, haul. But break that down into the 1 year, and then break it down into smaller goals throughout the year. Now, I have a proprietary system I guide my clients through, and it would take me a while to go through that with you. Plus, it's an incredible process that takes a lot more time. But really what we do is we break them down, and then we look at, okay, what are those actionable steps in the short term? Because every goal you have, in order to achieve them, you have to be taking action today. I was listening to someone I admire that talks about Neville Goddard's work, The Feeling is a Secret. And so he has this mastermind group, and he's like, okay, what are your goals? And people are like 369 million, 500 million, like these crazy numbers. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna bash anyone's dreams or goals, but really, what are you doing today? What are you doing today? Are you getting up early? Are you doing what's required? Do you have goals? Do you have a means of getting there? Are you getting things done that are required? And so it's one thing to have a vision and a dream, but we have to break that down into actionable steps. We have to be moving towards it. I can say I want a great body all day long, and I can watch a million YouTube videos on how to get a great body, but unless I get to the gym, unless I start working on those weights, the body ain't changing. Nothing's changing. So if we want to change, we got to change. If we don't change, things will not change. So we have to start to look at, okay, what are those things that I'm required to do in order to have the career I desire, the personal development I want, the relationships that I dream about, the health that makes me feel excited about waking up. So having those clear objectives gives you direction. And it also gives you motivation, because you don't have to figure things out. The biggest thing, the reason why people procrastinate is because they have this big dream and they have no idea how to get there. Well, break it down into steps. I know how to put my tennis shoes on, and I know how to put my socks on, and I have a driver's license and keys to my car, and I can get myself to the gym. And when I go there, I can, figure something out. And so there are steps, and that is going to give me direction. And that's going to help me reach my goals. So make sure your goals are aligned with your values and aspirations. So again, we break it down from our vision to the goals to the actionable steps. And number three is create that strategic plan. Like I said, I have a really powerful proprietary system that I take my clients through in planning out their year. But what you can do is absolutely create that strategic plan. Develop a detailed plan outlining the steps you need to take to achieve your goals. And again, break down and write it out. Write out that information and calendarize it. Break down each goal into actionable steps and create a timeline. When are you going to accomplish them? When are you going to go to the gym? When are you going to film that video? When are you going to complete that book that you say you want to write? So put a time to everything. And there's some things that you're going to be doing every day. There's some things that you're going to be doing every week, and there's some things that you're going to do every month, and there's some things that you're going to do, I've got to make 5 potential client calls a day, or there's some things that I have to complete, like one big project. And if there's one big project, then what are those things that I have to do that's going to lead me to the completion of that project? Break it down into actionable steps. So having that well thought out strategy helps you stay focused, helps you stay organized, it helps you stay proactive in pursuing your objectives, and it helps you stay motivated. That's the hardest thing that most people hit is they're not motivated because the results aren't immediate. And so this keeps us, at least we could check off that I made those 5 client calls. Do I have my $1 million contract yet? No, but I made the 5 client calls today. So I can celebrate that win. And so we want to have that strategy that keeps us focused and keeps us moving. So in essence, we don't have to think. Overthinking paralyzes most people in the pursuit of their big dreams. Because again, we're thinking about something far out in the future. And I have dreams. I have no idea how I'm going to get there. And that's okay. That means that is an appropriate dream for me because it's requiring me to stretch outside of my life that I'm living right now. That's the only dream that's even worthy of me. Same thing with you. It's got to be bigger than you. So if I have my dream that's way out there and I have no idea how I'm going to achieve it, I'm going to wake up every morning and think, oh, well, what should I do? Well, I don't really know what to do. Or maybe I should call them. Well, but I don't know what they're going to say. Or maybe I should hire this, marketer or throw this ad out there, or I'm just going to do a bunch of random activities that are not going to lead me to my goal. And overthinking paralyzes most people. But if I have that well thought out strategy and I write it down, all I have to do is just follow the steps. It's a recipe. It's a recipe and it works. So, and when you find you're not hitting those markers, or it's not taking you closer to your goal, then you can assess them and then reassess your strategy and rewrite your strategy. Nothing is set in stone. We are evolving beings, which means things change all the time. We're going to be growing. So having that strategy keeps us on track, keeps us focused, and it keeps us moving towards our goal. So step number 4 is establish habits of success. Nobody, my big word, and I don't really share this usually, but I will share it with you. My identity shift, because I talk a lot about identity with my clients, and we have to step into who are we required to be in order to achieve our goal, in order to live into the best, highest version of ourselves. And what I decided this year is I am disciplined. That's required for me because I have I'll tell you, I know I talk about fitness a lot, but I've had fitness goals forever, but it hasn't really been that big of a goal for me. It's just kind of like a nice to have. I mean, I'm happy with my body. I love clothes. I mean, I feel fine. And so it's always been like a nice to have, but I've never been disciplined enough to do those daily things that are required to get the body that I desire. And so for me, I decided that's a big area that I'm choosing to step into, but it requires that I be disciplined around chocolate and sweets. I still don't want to sacrifice chocolate. I love chocolate, but I'm being vulnerable here. But being disciplined enough to maybe take one bite, being disciplined enough to walk and to exercise and to eat healthy. And so, who are you required to be, and what are those habits of success that you're required to step into? Nothing happens because we have a dream. Nothing happens just because we have a vision. Nothing happens just because we have a goal written down. It happens because we're doing the things that are required to achieve it. Every successful person is doing those things that are required to achieve their goals. And so we want to identify what are those key habits that align with your goals and that contribute to your overall success. And it could be a morning routine. It could be setting aside dedicated time for personal development, skill development, learning something new. It could be practicing mindfulness. It could be incorporating positive habits into your daily life that can significantly impact your performance. It can be something that is specifically related to an aspect of your career or business or job, meaning, when you start work, you make 5 phone calls to key prospects, or you send out 5 proposals, or you knock on 5 doors or whatever it is, and you do it consistently. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is consistency. Most people will do, kind of I've gone to the gym. I've gone to the gym plenty of times. I have 2 memberships to the gym. But am I consistent? And I'll tell you, when I was going to the gym, I'm, I'll be there. My coach might be listening here. When I was going to the gym, kind of, a lot, I would go at different times of the day, and I'll tell you, I would always see the same people. And I thought that was odd because if I was going at 5 one day and 8 the other day, or 10 in the morning, why was I seeing the same people? Because they were consistently going all the time. And you could tell by their bodies. It's like I can lament my body all day long, but I've created my body. They created their body by consistency. The people who are killing it in sales, the people who are big influencers on Instagram, the people who are creating the success they want are consistent with their work. Consistency is key. So you want to start with the small changes and gradually build on them and be consistent with them, stick to them. And step 5 is to invest in continuous learning. We have to be committed to growing. We have to be committed to growing. There is no plateauing. I was talking to a new client the other day, and I said, okay, well, what's your goal for a year? And he shared, it was a really big goal. And I said, okay, what's your goal, in 8 months? And he kind of shared the same goal. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. Are you wanting to plateau? Because I don't plateau. We don't plateau over here. We're always growing. And so we have to redefine and increase that final goal because we're designed to grow. We're designed to continue to become bigger, better versions of ourselves. So that requires that we surround ourselves with opportunities to grow, that we commit to ongoing personal and professional development, that we stay curious, that we seek opportunities to expand our knowledge and our skills, that we attend workshops, that we read relevant books, that we engage with mentors, that you get a good coach. I happen to know a great coach. Please reach out if you'd like to be part of our community in a bigger way, more impactful way. But continuous learning is not only enhances your expertise, but it also keeps you adaptable and resilient in the face of change. So again, when I go to the gym, it's not so I can carry a dumbbell. It's so I can move furniture around my house and not hurt my back, or carry my child or my grandchild and not tweak something, or so I can go up and down the stairs and not twist a knee. I'm not doing it so I can lift a dumbbell. We're doing it so that we can be resilient, we could be adaptable, we could be stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually in all of our lives, so we can continue to grow. So when you're on the path to growing, you become someone who's able to grow, meaning anything can happen. The world is, kind of an interesting place to live right now. But the ones that are adaptable and constantly growing are able to thrive in any environment. And that's what's available to you if you are committed to continuous learning. And if you invest in continuous learning, investing your time, investing your money, investing your resources, investing your energy in that. And I'll tell you, I finished my first book, and I am planning on writing. I'm gonna put it out on Facebook. Every time I finish a book, I haven't put that one out yet. Every time I finish a book, put it out on Facebook and share my biggest takeaway, because I am committed to reading. I'm not going to give myself a number. That's not that high a priority because I'm always reading. But I'm on my second book now. The first one was Flow, and it was an incredible book. And to me, that's my commitment to my personal development, my professional development. So think about what are those things for you that can help you to grow and become better. So please join us here, join us live, and we'll see you all next time. Lots of love. Bye. Happy New Year.